As you can tell, I just got done with work. Now, not necessarily, because it's 2 o'clock. I actually realistically got done with work at 1 o'clock. Now, the reason why I'm getting out of work so late is because I am an information whore. And I'm going to explain it like that, and I'm saying it like that because I want to know, and it probably is a little bit of trauma-based reasoning of why I think the way I do, but I always want to know, what am I doing wrong? How can I do better? What are the rules? I want a syllabus to everything. And not everything essentially has a syllabus. Not everybody wants a information dump on people. And that's my biggest problem. Like, I hate when it's like, you could have just fucking told me! Why didn't you just tell me? Like, I generally want to know, like, why didn't you just tell me X, Y, Z, A, B, C, don't do this, don't act like this? And I do know some lines was like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, cowards never make it anywhere, all this and all that. But what y'all don't realize about me is, if I never lived in a fearful mindset, I would be a fucking killer, and I'm not even kidding about that. There are people in existence that generally make me so unnerved and so dysregulated. The only feasible thing that makes sense to me is violence to the point where I don't have to worry about them being alive. But I was trained correctly. Now, even though as an adult I don't really have a history of aggression or violence, I do have a lot of history of being loud and emotional, obnoxious, and all this and all that. But don't we all just a little bit? I don't know. Either way. But as a child, I don't have documented history, but every once in a while I do a lot of self-reflection. I think about countless and stupid shit. But I literally think about as much trouble as I've gotten. I've probably gotten the most trouble in elementary and middle school. And a lot of it was kind of stupid things to me. Because one of the reasons I got called down to the office is because I gave this chick my jacket because she said she was cold. I was taught and I was fucking trained to be kind, be considerate, be nice, and especially be nice to women. So I was nice to everybody, but I was especially nice to women. No matter what the fuck the case was, I was nice. Back to the point. So I gave her my fucking hoodie, end up getting called to office, asked, hey, did you give her a hoodie? Well, she has her own shit, don't worry about that. Okay. Another occasion, I gave her some money because she said she needed lunch money, blah, this, blah, that. Apparently that's something you need me to do again. And another time we were getting called down to office, I don't remember what, but like me and like 2 other dudes were always getting called down to office. I don't tell the story just a little bit, but either way. So like growing up, I remembered I've never really done anything. In my mind, I thought I was always doing good. And as an adult with the mindset that I have now, I was doing good. There was no wrongdoing in what I was doing. It's just the way that the school system and the way that adults and the way that everything goes, like I'm not into the whole entire system workings and being able to see how things work. It's like you want people to be good, but you don't want them to do good. Like you don't want them to do great. You don't want, like you want them to think about others, but you don't want them to enact things. You don't want them to spend money, or you yourself don't want to spend the money. And as a child, I never got that. So I went from being overly nice, then there's times I was just being aggressive. Like, I remember kneeing a kid in the nuts, and that was just because I was excited, not even because I was pissed. That dude was my best friend, or at least I consider him my best friend. I don't know if he considered me my best friend, considered me his best friend, but at the time, I considered him my best friend. Fucked up part is I kneed him in the nuts in the middle of the gym class in front of everybody. Punishment for that was running laps. But also, I'm going to add this into it. I think this is the main reason why I do not like to be seen as disabled or even talk about having heart issues. Like, I don't really care now as an adult, but when I was younger, I used to kind of like hold it as like a fucking target on my back. Because people used to go easier on me once they realized I was a heart patient because they thought, oh, he's disabled, so that means go easier on him. And it's all I ever wanted to be for the longest time is normal. But you can't be something that you don't know the base for and that you're not born to be. So therefore, how the fuck can I be normal? I was born never to be. I was never born to be average. I was never meant to fit in. If I was meant to fit in, I wouldn't have fucking heart issues. If I was meant to fit in, I would have stayed in Haiti. If I was meant to fit in, I would know my family. If I was meant to fit in, none of the shit I went through would have fucking happened. Because you can't go through all the shit that I went through and be normal in any fucking sense. And if you are, well, how much money did it cost and what drugs are you on? Because I need some of the shit that you have. Because as a fucking orphan, moved to fucking America at the age of 3, adopted by a Caucasian family, filled with a bunch of mentally and or physically disabled siblings, ranging from autism, the shaken baby syndrome, the fetal alcohol syndrome, to parents doing drugs before giving birth to them. Like, what type of childhood does that I literally describe it as like a little mental asylum because I've been to an asylum. I don't know if it's an asylum, like some mental health institution. Like I literally was locked up for my mental health for like fucking 2 weeks, and it keeps going with the whole entire mumbo jumbo. We're gonna try to help you, but we're not gonna help you. They sell you shit just to keep you sedated and stuff like that. The more that I learn, the more that I get pissed off because like, why even? You don't have to lie to me. You know that. You can just tell me like, as soon as we let you go, like we want you to take these meds, but if you don't, fuck it, we don't care. We want you to go to fucking therapy all the time, but if you don't, fuck it, we don't care. Like we want you to do these things, but realistically, we don't want to see you here. So all you do is say you don't want to see me here. I can act forever. I've been acting all my fucking life. And that's the main reason why I have issues being in certain places because I don't know how to be and who I should be. Which is why I always feel so free at work, because I know what to do at work, who to be by others. Just shut the fuck up and take orders from people. As long as the orders make sense to me, I'm not gonna really argue. But once you start saying some outlandish and just like power tripping, just dick swinging shit, then I'm like, I don't, like, I only have a brain because I tried working without a brain, and then it started irritating me, and I started getting angry and angry and angry, and then I developed my own brain and my own thoughts, my own mind, and I realized, just like me, most of y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing either, but at least I will admit to it, and some of y'all just pretend you do and say, shh, shut the fuck up, don't you ever call me out on my bullshit. Well, I'm always call you out on your bullshit. So only I want to take accountability? Okay, fine with me. Either fucking way. The aggression that I had as a child was just like, I don't know, I consider it to be high energy, but like, my feelings don't feel like everybody else's feelings feel, and I don't know how to explain that aside from like, I grew up in a loud house, and not necessarily it was loud because there's 11 kids. Well, 11 kids, roughly about 13 to 15 people in the house, depending on the fucking time of the year, because on top of the adopted kids, we also were a foster family for a while, on top of the fact that we always had animals integrating, regardless if it was dogs, birds, cats. We even had rabbits for a little bit. Almost like, not as much of a like a mini farm, because we never had like cows or horses, but I have been on farms. Either way, I am just trying to think, like, from my scope of reality, normal for me is to act like some of my siblings that didn't do anything that other people perceive to be normal, but what most people neglect to think about is normal is based off of everybody's individual perceptions of what normality is. So to me, I've always thought, I know I didn't believe I was normal because I was basing my normal off of everybody else's normal instead of basing normal off of my normal. So if I base normal off of my normal, I would have been normal, whatever the fuck that is, because normal is essentially the standard, the average, and what the standard and the average is for my world is not the standard and average for your world, which I keep trying to explain in this message and multiple messages in different fucking ways. But maybe it'll stick eventually. I just gotta keep repeating it in different ways for you guys to get it. It's it's normal for me, but what's normal for me is abnormal for you. But don't ever assume that I'm not being normal for what's normal for my reality. Stop making me try to live in the world that I do not live in when I live in my world. You live in your world, and sometimes we visit each other's worlds. Either way, my biggest issue is that a lot of things in life, from what I've currently learned and continue to learn, is just it's wording based. You could literally get away with everything if you word it correctly. I will give you some examples, okay? Hey, can I punch him? Do you mean your body was uncontrollable and you had a spasm and you accidentally hit them? Yeah. My body had a spasm and I didn't mean to hit them, it just happened. Can I not lift this? So you mean you're having back problems and knee problems, and what you're trying to do is make sure that you don't bump up your hospital bill more, so you're just trying to preserve your body? Yeah. I ain't trying to be lazy. I'm just, back problems and shit like that. Can I do this? I'm not allowed to give you permission to do that, but if you happen to do that and I'm not around and I don't notice it, it happens how it happens. If there's no proof that you did it, I'm not saying you can do whatever you want to, but what I'm saying is I am not allowed to witness you do that. Take what you will with that information. And then on top of that, everybody has different belief systems on what non-answers mean. Like, in my world, if you don't tell me a verbal yes, it's a no. Like, I need confirmation up the ass. I need constant communication. I need constant confirmation. I will not hang out with you, even though we may have made extensive plans to hang out throughout the whole entire week until the day of, unless you confirm that you are fine with me coming on my way. And when I send on my way, or is it cool if I come back? If I come by, if I do not get a confirmation text within an hour, like, I'm literally not even moving until I see that, yeah, it's cool. Even if it's like 3 hours, 4, 5, 6, I might not even want to come after 6 hours. I might not even want to come after 1 hour, to be honest. But at the same time, until I see a confirmation text, I ain't doing shit. And that's because of my previous life experiences with people saying they want to do things and changing plans and getting confused and getting angry. It's just like, you know what? At the same time, I'm doing the things that make me feel safe, that make me feel comfortable. So you can be upset at all. You can be as upset as you want for me, but I'm running my life how I've learned to run my life, while you're running your life how you learn to run your life. But at the same time, I can give you the understanding, but you choose to want to stand over me like, you can't understand me? Fuck, I must be speaking a different dialect of English. Let me switch this shit up for you, okay? A G always gonna be a G, even if you can't see. I'll be doing what works for me like what you do works for you too. So, hey, it be how it be. I'm just trying to live in peace.